Hey everybody! Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about crystal cleansing and different methods for cleansing your crystals. Now I know that anybody on YouTube that talks about crystals even a little bit probably already has a video on this, but in the last couple weeks I did get a couple requests on for me to do a video on this. So as you can already tell, I absolutely love crystals. I'm learning so much about them, so I figured why not? I'll do a video. So I'm going to show you guys my favorite ways on how to do it and other ways that you can also do that. Hold on. I totally forgot one thing. Okay. There we go. Wanted to have everything up here. Okay, so this is the perfect time for me to do this video because today is the full moon. Actually, there's all kinds of stuff going on this week. There's a full moon. You can view Venus in transit, and I believe there's also a solar eclipse? Lunar eclipse. I think it's the lunar eclipse. Let me see. Yes. Yep, lunar eclipse. So, I mean, there's all kinds. So, the energies are just everywhere this week. But, my all-time favorite way to cleanse crystals is under the full moon. So, for example, tonight I will take any crystals that I have collected or adopted within the last month, so from the last full moon to this one, and any crystals that I use on a daily basis, so, you know, the ones that I carry around every day, or, ones that Kevin and I use, we will put outside. We've got a couple chairs that we set them all up on, and we, let the full moon do her thing and neutralize the crystals that we have. It's my all-time favorite way. It just puts such a good feel on the crystals that end up getting cleansed that way. Now, you really have to be careful, and I am going to put this warning right here. There are going to be a few methods that I'm going to go over that can ruin your crystals. And I'm going to explain that as I go. But please, please, please don't cleanse your crystal a specific way unless you are 100% sure that your crystal can handle it. I don't need people messaging me saying, I put my selenite wand in water and it dissolved. What the hell? So just keep that in mind when you're watching this, that there are certain crystals that can't be cleansed certain ways. So when you are going to use the full moon, you really have to check the weather forecast, because if it's supposed to rain or storm, if you have your hematite outside, it is metallic. Now most of the time tumbled stones are okay, but not always. So double check. If there's even a slight chance of rain, just use your window. You can very easily take your stones and put them in the window, line them up throughout your house, and they can just as easily be cleansed under the full moon that way. So that is my all-time favorite method. All my crystals that I get at least get cleansed that way once. I don't do all of them, especially if you are beginning to collect crystals. You get quite a few. It's quite a lengthy task to get them all outside and then to bring them all back in the next morning. So like I said, I just do the new ones that I got within the last month, so from full moon to full moon, or the ones that I use very often. Now, even though that's my all-time favorite way and it's fantastic, it does only occur once a month, twice a month if it's the blue moon, but it's only once a year. So the next way of, you really have to figure out ways in between for crystals that you use on a daily basis. So there are a couple different methods that I have here. Crystals come from the earth, obviously. So any kind of earth-based method, so like dirt or salt, is very, very good in cleansing. If you want to bury them outside, or if you have a pot in your house that's full of dirt, you can bury them that way. I don't use dirt, but I use salt. So I've got coarse salt in here. I actually use Of course, all natural sea salt. I think this is a couple bucks. But this, it's been a little jack-o'-lantern filled with it, and I normally use this for my tumbled stones just because it's small. You can either push the stones down into the salt, or you can set them on top. Now please be careful, because there are certain stones that can be ruined by being put in salt. So you don't want to put metallics or anything like that in salt. Like, you know, I have cleansed my hematite this way. I do have a large rough piece, but I set it on top of the salt. I don't bury it. So please be careful. Do your research. There is also the water and salt method. And I take, now normally you'd want to use distilled water, but all I had was tap. It works just fine. So take a bowl, fill it with water, and then I take, you know, however much salt I deem necessary, you know, put it in there, stir it up if you want to, and then take your crystals and submerge it in the water. Let it sit overnight, let it sit under the full moon if you want to, you know, let it sit for a couple days, as long as you feel necessary for it to completely cleanse it. Now, here's another one, you know, quartz, any kind of quartz, clear quartz, rose quartz, amethyst, citrine, fluorites, you know, those are normally just fine to put in water, but there are a lot of stones that you do not want to put in water. Anything with the hardness of 5 or below, so 1 through 5, can dissolve when being put in water. Anything that has any kind of metallics in it can rust or get ruined when you put it in water. Like your pyrite, it's metallic. You don't want to put this in water. Like I said before, selenite, it is soft, it will dissolve in water. So please do your research. If you need to ask somebody, if you need to look online, if you want to send me a message, you know, if I know, I will help you. But with salt and water, they can be very, very dangerous to certain stones. So if you are not 100% sure, you know, like with quartz, that you can put it in water and it will be fine, don't do it, because I do not want you to ruin your stones. But those are really good ways for stones that can handle doing that kind of thing. The easiest way to cleanse your stones that is not harmful, and any stone can be cleansed this way other than the full moon, would be using a smudge stick or a sage wand. Light the end of it, and you know, you want to hold your stone out you know, a couple inches, just because, especially if it's a light colored stone, if you hold it up close, it can stain the stone, and you really don't want to do that. So, you know, hold it out a couple inches and just move your stone all throughout the smoke. And you know, it may take 30 seconds, it may take 10 minutes. It just depends on, you know, when you feel that the stone is fully cleansed. But that is a very good way of not only cleansing any type of stone, but knowing that your stone is completely neutralized and it's not harmful. So if you're not sure with the other methods, with salt and with water and even with dirt, normally dirt's not going to help it, but it's kind of the moisture in it. And if you're not sure, this is the way to go. And then of course, either putting your stones outside during the full moon or putting them on the windowsill. Now there are all kinds of different ways, like you can use running water, you can use like oceans and lakes and streams, and even if you turn on your tap water and, you know, hold your crystals under it that way. Once again, be careful of the hardness and what type of stone you're using. But these are the different methods that I actually use in my crystal practice. So yeah, that is my crystal cleansing video. Now, if you guys do have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can normally catch me a little bit easier on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Pyperh, Pyperh. I check it all the time. If you leave a comment, I try to check the comments, but my phone doesn't always, because I have it connected to my phone, it doesn't always tell me when somebody has left a comment. So a lot of times I miss them, and I don't do it on purpose. I try to reply whenever I feel a reply is necessary, but I don't always see them. So if you have a question on the hardness of your stones, or if it can be used, you know, in a specific method or whatever, please feel free to contact me. You can also, I mean, Witch on the Rocks and Hibiscus Moon, both of their websites are chock full of information, so definitely check them out. But yeah, so I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you later. Bye!